Hi FlossTube, it is Amy from Guilford Girl Stitching here on FlossTube and on Instagram. It is Sunday, June 8th. Happy Pride Month. Today also happens to be my sister Jason's birthday, so say happy birthday Jason. And 2 days ago was my dad's birthday, so happy birthday George. So it's been a while since I've been on. I haven't been really wanting to stitch lately. The last month has been a little difficult, and the month before that too. Unfortunately, my aunt passed away about a month ago. She had had a stroke a year ago, a little more than a year ago, and the hospice nurse at the facility she was in kept saying 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks. And it ended up being about, I think, 6 more weeks from when she had started saying that. So it was long, it was hard. The funeral services were lovely. She was a big part of the town of Guilford, where I'm from, hence the name Guilford Girl Stitching. So there was a nice turnout. It was lovely. But it was sad. It was sad, although it was definitely her time. And then through all of that, my mom also had a little thing going on her hand, and she had to have surgery to have a cyst removed, and that was rough for her. So it's been a long time, and I just was not feeling like stitching. And then she got scheduled to do the surgery, and it was just gonna be a 1-day surgery. It wasn't gonna be anything big. And I was like, oh, I should probably bring some stitching with me, as I was the one who was taking her to the surgery, which, by the way, she reads the comments, so say hi to my mom. She's doing great now. But I was like, oh, I should bring something with me. And I'm like, what can I bring that's going to be easy? And then I remembered I am so close to finishing my hippopotamus from Romy Creations. She's so cute. And I thought if I could outline everything, then I can just fill her all in. So although the surgery literally was 45 minutes, there was more prep and after time than the actual surgery. So I really actually didn't get a lot of stitching done at the hospital, but because I was prepping for it to finish it and fill in, I was able to just get her done. So here is my done. Sorry for the wrinkles. Absolutely everything is just wrinkled around me. But so this is her. I did name her Sheila. I named her Sheila because of the musical Hair. Sheila is one of the characters. She sings Good Morning Starshine in the movie version. I think she sings it in the Broadway show version as well, but it's a little, they're a little different. They're always a little different. But Hair is definitely one of my top favorite musicals. What you might not know about me is that I actually have a degree in theater. I've seen a lot of musicals. I've done theater. I haven't done theater in ages, but Hair will always be one of my favorites. So a Hippie Hippo had to be named after Sheila. It had to be done. So she's great. I have no idea what's going to happen with her. She'll probably go in the box of finishes, because I just stitch to relax. I don't stitch to put anything up. I don't know, but I would like to maybe, she's small enough she might be in a cute hoop one day. We'll see. I don't know. I have no plans for her right now. So working on her did give me back my stitching bug a little bit. I felt like the frog ate my bug. I don't know. It was just, I just didn't feel like stitching, but I'm feeling a little bit better about it. I got that done, and just need a sip of water. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Not only did I finish that, I finished my Romeo and Juliet. So there is that one. And that has the first few lines of the play on it. It says, 2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, when civil blood makes civil hands unclean. This was from Forbidden Fiber Co. It was one of their mystery bags. So the fabric, the floss, the pattern all came in with it. It had a little bag, and a needle minder. And it was just, you know what? The colors are gorgeous on this. The fabric, I don't know if it's reading well or not, but it's like a very, very, very pale greenish. It's it's almost like a tan with like a tint of green. And it's just the purple and the greens on that are just so lovely. And it's just, like I said, I was a theater major. I did see Romeo and Juliet in London when I studied theater in London, my junior year of college. I think I saw it at the National Theater. I don't think it was... No, it was the Royal Shakespeare Company at the Barbican. I don't know. I can't... I'm trying to remember the two theaters, and I think I mean, it's been a long time. So, but I did see Romeo and Juliet in London. It was a good production. I think I mentioned this in my last FlossTube when I showed this off, that my professor had to defend us from an angry British man who thought we were being disrespectful because we were a bunch of American students. But we were just enjoying Romeo and Juliet. Anyway, that one's done too. That one I would really like to turn into a pillow. I am going to upstate New York to Hobby House for a week with my friends Cheryl, Tina, Joanne, Donna. Oh my God, I'm forgetting somebody. Me? Stacie, I'm sorry. Oh my God. But anyway, we're going up there, and I'm hoping someone will take pity on me, guys. Obviously not Stacie, since I forgot her name. To help me turn that into a pillow while we're there, because I know Hobby House does fabric, and I think someone's going to bring their sewing machine. Maybe I'll bring mine, and somebody can show me how to actually use it. I did take a class, but it did not go well. But anyway, so that's coming up in September, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be so much fun. We're just going to laugh like crazy. We're going to stitch, and that's about it, I guess. I don't know. We're going to have fun. But so plans, I do have some plans that I am excited for. I'm gonna start 2 big projects coming up. The first one I have shown off before. This was a Christmas present from my mom. She got me the pattern and all of the fancy silks for it. It is from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. It is the Merry Snow. So I'm not, this is not generally my style to do. I am excited though to do, I feel like every stitcher should do one like kind of recreated sampler. I don't know. I think like everybody kind of has a bucket list for their stitching. What is on your bucket list? I know a long dog is on mine. Definitely. But probably not until after I finish this piece. And I think this one's going to take a while. This is going to be a couple of years working on with other things, especially the next one I'm going to show you. But this is being started specifically on June 24th. And the reason I'm starting that on June 24th, I did not do a birthday start this year because my birthday happened to be the day before or something, my aunt's funeral. And I just, like I said, a month ago me was not wanting to stitch. So, but the reason I'm starting on June 24th is because that is my grandmother's, that would have been my grandmother's 101st birthday. And her name happened to be Merry Snow. So this is my Merry Snow project. This is to honor my grandmother, honor my mom and my aunties whose maiden names are Snow. you know, just it's my family piece. It's going to be a labor of love, and I am looking forward to getting started on it. I have the most interesting fabric choice. I think I had a very hard time finding fabric, and this is kind of not, I don't know, it's different. It's really lovely. You can see, you know, I'm going to fold it in half, and maybe that'll show the color a little bit better. But it's Grace Notes fabric, and I do love Grace Notes. It's an interesting choice for this piece. It's like pink and greenish. It is actually called Mistletoe, and this is 18 count Aida. I think it's going to be pretty. I think the colors are going to look nice on that. It's probably not what most people would choose. I am going with the called for colors, which are absolutely lovely and gorgeous. I do like that there's some big bright pops of color in here amongst some of them, you know, like the browns and the grays. But I do prefer brightly colored projects. I just love the bright colors. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not necessarily into the traditional pieces. There's nothing wrong with that. I love you know, I had my stitch day with the Connecticut Stitching Circle yesterday, and there was some lady stitching on another Hands Across the Sea sampler, some very, very traditional pieces being done, and they're gorgeous. I do love them. It's just, you know, if you go by personality, I like brighter things. I like quirkier things. So I feel like this fabric choice brings that part of me into this project that's supposed to be about my grandmother. So I like that, and I am very excited to start that. I got that for Christmas, and ever since then I have been looking for a project bag, a special project bag to put that special project in it. And I've always wanted a project bag with just snowflakes, not Christmas, but snowflakes. Because like I said, my grandmother was Mary Snow. My grandfather was Gordon Snow. My mom was Sharon Snow before she got married. And my Snow family came over from England, not on the Mayflower, but the good ship Anne, I think it was called. And that was the second ship after the Mayflower. They came here 2 years later. So my family has really, I mean, they were some of the first settlers here in this country. And so a snowflake has always been, to me, like the family, just the symbol of the family, you know. But I couldn't find one I liked. And I was scrolling through looking for project bags. I was just going to put it in any old project bag. But I went onto Etsy, and I was scrolling through, and I saw one, and I was like, oh, that's my grandma. That right there is my grandmother. And I was just like, oh my God, I had to get it. This is from Layla B Creations. I had never heard of her before. But look at that. Look at this. It's all granny squares. My grandmother, she made sure all 10 of his grandchildren had a blanket with all the granny squares. I think this one reminds me more of my cousin Carrie's, because I think she and my sister had all the big bright colors, and I had like blue and white and tan. It was great. But I saw this. I was like, oh my God, I had to get it. And I was looking for something that didn't have the plastic front. And then this is the inside, which I swear to God, I have a shirt with that same print or something very similar, but So now when I'm working on that project for the next couple of years, I will have a fantastic bag to put that in. And the woman who sent it to me was great. It came like within a week, less than a week, I think, which was wonderful. And she put some Werther's Originals in there and a little bobbin, which was very nice and lovely. And that is great. So I'm very excited for that. Now, I also, okay, I saw, a few things going around about, how this July 4th is, coming up, and the next July 4th is the 250th birthday of the United States, and a lot of people are doing sales, a lot of different, I know there's a lot going on. I know Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher is starting the 13, oh my goodness, I was going to write it down before I came. Nancy, I don't think you watch me, but just in case you happen to, or somebody who knows you watches it, sorry, I can't remember what it is, but check her out, Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. She and another Nancy are doing a 13 for 13 something. Oh, they want to finish 13 small patriotic patterns, projects, before the next, not this coming, but 2026, 4th of July, one for the 13 states, which is great. I know there's another one going around, another pattern that's gorgeous, but it was a big old house and it's not me. So I was like, and I had thought about it last summer. I was like, oh, I would love to do a project start on, July 4th of this year and work on it over the next year, because that's actually the 250th year. So that whole year would be the 250th year of the country. And then once we hit the 250th birthday, then we go into the 251 year. But anyway, so I wanted to do something last summer, and I had something in mind, and I was excited to start it, to get everything, and then Kamala lost. And I was just like, I can't do anything patriotic. I didn't want to think about it. I am not happy with most of things that are happening in our country right now, but I still want to do a patriotic piece for this year. I searched Etsy, I searched 123 Stitch, I searched every website I can think of, trying to find a pattern. And I knew I didn't want to do anything with a house on it. So that was out. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to do anything with the word freedom. It just doesn't fit. When, I'm worried about my gay friends and the LGBTQ community, losing their rights, and how the trans community is being treated right now. I'm like, no, I can't do the word freedom. I can't. I can't. And liberty basically means the same thing. So anything with the word liberty was out. I didn't want to do God Bless America. I didn't, I wanted to do something patriotic, but it had to be something to me that showed hope and was more my style. And I found Barbara Anna's Long May She Wave. So there she is. So that will be my 250th project that I will be starting this July 4th while watching Hamilton on Disney+. That is my plan for Friday, July 4th. I will have it off from work, and I'm going to start that then. And I'm not sure about fabric. I did order this from 123 Stitch with all of the floss that's needed, and I am an Ada stitcher, so I did get the called for color, which was just Country Vintage Mocha. Vintage Country Mocha is the right way to say that, which is this here. But I also ordered something similar from Misty Fabrics. It has not gotten here yet. I love stitching on her. 16 count Charles Adercraft. She has, I don't know what it is about that. I know a lot of people probably don't like it because it's thicker fabric than most, but I don't know. I love it. The color that gets on that, she says for some reason, the 16 count dyes differently than the 14 and 18 count. I don't know if it, I think it dyes a little bit more intense. I'm not sure, but it's a dream to stitch on for some reason. And so hopefully that comes. It was from the ready to ship, but I haven't gotten anything yet. So, but I only, ordered that a little while ago, like last week. So I'm not worried or complaining about that in any way. Misty is fabulous. She is wonderful. Her fabrics are great. I do highly recommend her. This was just, I might as well purchase it while I can. And so those are my plans. I will work on some stuff that I've already started and haven't finished until I do these 2 starts. And hopefully these 2 I'll be working on with other things mixed in for the next year or so. So I am feeling a little bit more excited about stitching right now. So, but that's about it. Is anybody else doing anything for this special year for the 250th birthday? Anything patriotic going on? Are there sales I don't know about? Anybody want to sell this with me? Just let me know. I think it's important to, like I said, this is going to be my hope, my prayer for things to get back to normal and get better. I don't know. But anyway, that's about it. So please have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back if you've seen me before. I hope you liked my ramblings. Do the like, follow, ring the bell. I don't know what ring the bell means. I just know everybody says it. I don't think I've ever rung anybody else's bell. So I'm sorry. I don't know. Anyway, and then come find me on Instagram. I'm also Guilford Girl Stitching there. But anyway, enjoy. Bye.